clicking there. That's because I'm sleepy, and then I'm just to fall asleep. I click by mistake with my mouse, like I did now. I'm clicking some weird way. Because I'm super sleepy and I never get
AMD's graphics stack,
like there. I did click there.
For example, Fidelity FX Super.
If I do this, because I have my hand on my mouse, because I have to scrolling. So we have to read again. That's because I'm super sleepy. But I'm not going to stop all this just because I'm a little bit sleepy. Just sleep a little bit tonight, then I'll continue tomorrow. Yes, we have to read again because I do this sleeping, clicking.
Hypertransport, a high bandwidth, low latency system. GPU Open is AMD's graphics stack, which includes, for example, Fidelity FX Super Resolution. RO Centimeter, Radeon Open Compute Platform, is AMD's compute stack for machine learning and high-performance computing, based on the LLVM compiler technologies. Under the ROpen project, AMPU is AMD's open-source device driver supporting the GCN and following architectures, available for Linux. This latter driver component is used both by the graphics and compute stacks. MISC. AMD conducts open research on heterogeneous computing. 254. Other AMD software includes the AMD Core Math Library, and open source software including the AMD Performance Library. AMD contributes to open source projects, including working with Sun Microsystems Tonehunts Open Solaris and Sun XVM on the AMD platform. 255. AMD also maintains its own Open64 compiler distribution and contributes its changes back to the community. 256. In 2008, AMD released the low-level programming specifications for its GPUs, and works with the X.org Foundation to develop drivers for AMD graphics cards. 257, 258. Extensions for software parallelism, XSP, aimed at speeding up programs to enable multi-threaded and multi-core processing, announced in Technology Analyst Day 2007. One-off initiatives being discussed since August 2007 is the Lightweight Profiling, LWP, providing internal hardware monitor with runtimes, to observe information about executing process and help the redesign of software to be optimized with multi-core and even multi-threaded programs. Another one is the extension of Streaming SIMD Extension, SSE, instruction set, the SSE5. Codenamed SimFire Interoperability Testing Tool for the desktop and mobile architecture for system hardware, open architecture. Production and fabrication. Previously, AMD produced its chips at company-owned semiconductor foundries. AMD pursued a strategy of collaboration with other semiconductor manufacturers IBM and Motorola to co-develop production technologies. 259, 260. AMD's founder Jerry Sanders termed this the virtual guerrilla strategy to compete with Intel's significantly greater investments in fabrication. 261. In 2008, AMD spun off its chip foundries into an independent company named Global Foundries. 262. This breakup of the company was attributed to the increasing costs of each process node. The Emirate of Abu Dhabi purchased the newly created company through its subsidiary Advanced Technology Investment Company, ATIC, purchasing the final stake from AMD in 2009. 263, with the spin-off of its foundries. AMD became a fabless semiconductor manufacturer, designing products to be produced at 4 higher foundries. Part of the Global Foundries spin-off included an agreement with AMD to produce some number of products at Global Foundries. 264, both prior to the spin-off and after. AMD has pursued production with other foundries including TSMC and Samsung. 265, 266. It has been noted that this would reduce risk for AMD by decreasing dependence on any one foundry, which has caused issues in the past. 266, 267. In 2018, AMD started shifting the production of their CPUs and GPUs to TSMC, following Global Foundries' announcement that they were halting development of their 7nm process. 268. AMD revised their wafer purchase requirement with Global Foundries in 2019, allowing AMD to freely choose
Yes, now I cannot select the menu. Look there. So my computer will know that's wrong menu. Show. But now I took don't have my fingers on the mouse button. I'm just moving the mouse. I'm moving the mouse. I'm not putting my fingers because I'm sleepy, and if I click by mistake, it stopped reading.
foundries for 7nm nodes and below, while maintaining purchase agreements for 12nm and above through 2021. 269. Corporate Affairs. Partnerships. AMD utilizes strategic industry partnerships to further its business interests as well as to rival Intel's dominance and resources. Smiley 259, 260. 261, a partnership between AMD and Alpha Processor Incorporated developed HyperTransport, a point-to-point interconnect standard which was turned over to an industry standards body for finalization. 270, it is now used in modern motherboards that are compatible with AMD processors. AMD also formed a strategic partnership with IBM, under which AMD gained silicon-on insulator, SOI, manufacturing technology, and detailed advice on 90nm implementation. AMD announced that the partnership would extend to 2011 for 32nm and 22nm fabrication-related technologies. 271. To facilitate processor distribution and sales, AMD is loosely partnered with end-user companies such as HP, Dell, Asus, Acer, and Microsoft. 272. In 1993, AMD established a 50-50 partnership with Fujitsu called FAS, and merged into a new company called FAS LLC in 2003. The joint venture went public under the name Spansion and ticker symbol SPSN in December 2005. With AMD shares dropping 37%. AMD no longer directly participates in the flash memory devices market now, as AMD entered into a non-competition agreement on the 21st of December 2005 with Fujitsu and Spansion, pursuant to which it agreed not to directly or indirectly engage in a business that manufactures or supplies standalone semiconductor devices, including single-chip, multiple-chip or system devices containing only flash memory. 273. On the 18th of May, 2006, Dell announced that it would roll out new servers based on AMD's Opteron chips by year's end, thus ending an exclusive relationship with Intel. 274. In September 2006, Dell began offering AMD Athlon X2 chips in their desktop lineup. In June, 2011, HP announced new business and consumer notebooks equipped with the latest versions of AMD APUS accelerated processing units. AMD will power HP's Intel-based business notebooks as well. 275. In the spring of 2013, AMD announced that it would be powering all three major next-generation consoles. 276. The Xbox One and Sony PlayStation 4 are both powered by a custom-built AMD APU, and the Nintendo Wii U is powered by an AMD GPU. 277. According to AMD, having their processors in all three of these consoles will greatly assist developers with cross-platform development to competing consoles and PCs, as well as increase its support for their products across the board. 278. AMD has entered into an agreement with Hindustan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corporation, HSMC, for the production of AMD products in India. 279. AMD is a founding member of the HSA Foundation, which aims to ease the use of a heterogeneous system architecture. A heterogeneous system architecture is intended to use both central processing units and graphics processors to complete computational tasks. 280. AMD announced in 2016 that it was creating a joint venture to produce x86 server chips for the Chinese market. 281. On the 7th of May, 2019, it was reported that the U.S. Department of Energy, Oak Ridge National Laboratory, and Cray Incorporated, are working in collaboration with AMD to develop the Frontier Exascale supercomputer. Featuring the AMD EPYC CPUs and Radeon GPUs, the supercomputer is set to produce more than 1.5 exaflops, peak double precision, in computing performance. It is expected to debut sometime in 2021. 282. On the 5th of March, 2020, it was announced that the U.S. Department of Energy, Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory, and Hope are working in collaboration with AMD to develop the El Capitan Exascale supercomputer. Featuring the AMD EPYC CPUs and Radeon GPUs, the supercomputer is set to produce more than 2 exaflops, peak double precision, in computing performance. It is expected to debut in 2023. 283. In the summer of 2020, it was reported that AMD would be powering the next generation console offerings from Microsoft and Sony. 284. Litigation with Intel. AMD processor with Intel logo. AMD has a long history of litigation with former, and current, partner and x86 creator Intel. 285, 286, 287. In 1986, Intel broke an agreement it had with AMD to allow them to produce Intel's microchips for IBM. AMD filed for arbitration in 1987 and the arbitrator decided in AMD's favor in 1992. Intel disputed this, and the case ended up in the Supreme Court of California. In 1994, that court upheld the arbitrator's decision and awarded damages for breach of contract. In 1990, Intel brought a copyright infringement action alleging illegal use of its 287 microcode. The case ended in 1994 with a jury finding for AMD and its right to use Intel's microcode in its microprocessors through the 486 generation. In 1997, Intel filed suit against AMD and Cyrix Corporation for misuse of the term MMX. AMD and Intel settled, with AMD acknowledging MMX as a trademark owned by Intel, and with Intel granting AMD rights to market the AMD K6MMX processor. In 2005, following an investigation, the Japan Federal Trade Commission found Intel guilty of a number of violations. On the 27th of June, 2005, AMD won an antitrust suit against Intel in Japan, and on the same day, AMD filed a broad antitrust complaint against Intel in the U.S. Federal District Court in Delaware. The complaint alleges systematic use of secret rebates, special discounts, threats, and other means used by Intel to knock AMD processors out of the global market. Since the start of this action, the court has issued subpoenas to major computer manufacturers including Acer, Dell, Lenovo, HP and Toshiba. In November 2009, Intel agreed to pay AMD $1.25 billion and renew a 5-year patent cross-licensing agreement as part of a deal to settle all outstanding legal disputes between them. 288. Guinness World Record achievement. On the 31st of August, 2011, in Austin, Texas, AMD achieved a Guinness World Record for the highest frequency of a computer processor, 8.429 GHz. 289. The company ran an 8-core FX 8150 processor with only one active module, 2 cores, and cooled with liquid helium. 290. The previous record was 8.308 GHz, with an Intel Celeron 352, 1 core. On the 1st of November, 2011, Geek.com reported that Andre Yang, an overclocker from Taiwan, used an FX 8150 to set another record, 8.461 GHz. 291. On the 19th of November, 2012, Andre Yang used an FX 8350 to set another record, 8.794 GHz. 292. Acquisitions, mergers and investments. Date company integration or division price February 6, 2002 Alchemy Semiconductor, 293, processors, embedded CPUs, undisclosed July 24, 2006 ATI Technology, 294, graphics and 3D software, Radeon GPUs, $5,400 million February 29, 2012 C Micro, 295. Data center platform $334 million June 29, 2016 High Algo, 296, 297. Gaming experience, Radeon Chill, Radeon Boost and Radeon Swift, undisclosed April 10, 2017 Nitro, 298, 299, 60 GHz wireless IP. Headset R and VR, undisclosed October 27, 2020 Xilinx, 300, custom chips, FPGA, adaptive SOCs. System on modules, IA accelerator, $49000 million April 4, 2022 Pensando, 301, data center, Cloud Solutions and DPUs $1,900 million. Corporate Social Responsibility. In its 2012 report on progress relating to conflict minerals, the Enough Project rated AMD the fifth most progressive of 24 consumer electronics companies. 302. Other initiatives. 50x15. Digital inclusion. with targeted 50% of world population to be connected through internet via affordable computers by the year of 2015. The Green Grid 303, founded by AMD together with other founders, such as IBM, Sun and Microsoft, to seek lower power consumption for grids. See also